It is no longer news about what this deadly coronavirus is and the dangerous effects it is already ravaging many continents of the world. And it is now in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has just confirmed and recorded the first death from the coronavirus. Achimugu Suleiman, a 67-year-old man, a native of Kogi State, and a former managing director of the petroleum products marketing company PPMC, who died at 2 a.m. on Monday. He was said to have returned from the UK 2 weeks ago. He tested positive and was evacuated to the specialist hospital Gwagwalada, FCT, but died while receiving treatment. The virus has spread to 6 states, including the FCT. Nigeria has recorded 5 new cases of the COVID-19, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 36. Do you think the measures put in place by the federal government to contain this spread is enough to contain the virus in the face of obvious challenges? It is in 6 states of Nigeria. What should the states not affected do now to ensure that this virus do not spread into those territories? We're here to find out.
If the government will put in more efforts to help its citizens in providing every antivirus that we needed, because right now people, like when I was coming from work this afternoon, can see that we have scarcity of people on the way, and even in the office it was just few people that came to office today. Why? Because everyone is afraid, because they've had the news this morning that we have recorded about 4 or 5 people have been quarantined in Gwagwalada hospital. So everybody's afraid. So if the government will help to at least facilitate how they can be able to get this antivirus to help the citizens, so that people can go about their normal activities and do their duties without fear.
No, do you think the government has actually tried enough?
Well, for now, I would say the government are trying, but at least they should put in more efforts.
How have they tried?
At least by giving people information on telly, radio, social media, everywhere. Everybody now is aware that, yes, coronavirus is around. Everybody knows that one for now. But the only thing we need now is how to prevent it. That one is what governments have not taken measure of. Everybody knows that. Like now in some offices, there is no sanitizer, no proper hand washing whatsoever system to use. We have closed down schools that students should stay at home. But we are going to work, and we are also parents to those children. So what if we contact them from our working place and then bring them back home?
The testing center is not even there. They have not put in place what people, if anybody felt like having something, a problem, he got there for test, nothing like that. Why can't people die? People should die because government is not serious over it. This one has been standard far back, and up to now, nothing serious has been made. So I believe we're joking. I think what they should do is what other countries are doing. Preparedness, get things in order, because it is a global problem. You don't feel it cannot come to you. It can come to you anytime, any day. But the problem is that the federal government on their own have not started doing something tangible. So where state starts from? I believe federal government serves as the father. So the state should copy from the father. If they should be able to put something in place on federal level, then the state can pick from there. But nevertheless, I know there's some serious-minded state governors that can do something even more than the federal government. So I appeal to them to continue doing something to save the life of Nigerians.
I think we're nowhere yet prepared, sincerely, because I just called a friend. He said Gwagwalada Hospital is filled up, no bed space. So whatever the government is telling you, I think they're not being sincere. But we need to take measures like washing out, sanitizing ourselves, our hands and everything, and shut down the country, close door. I'm serious. Otherwise, it's just the grace of God.
I think the death of this man today is a wake-up call to the federal government.
I think fear, like anxieties, they'll be scared that they too shall actually fall the victim. But I just feel that the federal government should just ensure them, like make them feel that, okay, this whole thing, they will get over it. So that the fear, because it's actually the fear that kills more. Some people have not really gotten this thing, like some are actually finding it like no, this is not possible, like, oh, maybe this is not real. Like, some are actually feeling like, are we not Nigeria? Like, no, this is not going to happen. Because you can notice many people are not having the masks. Some don't have the sanitizers. Some are just feeling reluctant that because they felt this thing is not going to kill.
Coronavirus is real. Some people deceive themselves there's nothing like coronavirus. But coronavirus is a real. People can sanitize their hands and keep themselves far from people. Son of Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president, have a coronavirus. So I believe it's real. There's nothing like camouflage. So we should be careful.
Do you think the federal government has put everything in place to actually curb this menace?
That I cannot say about it because last week I was in the Minister of Health. For their public use, there's nothing like a sanitizer or hand wash. So for Minister of Health to not provide all those things, I don't think, for the little one I know, I don't know much about that. So I cannot say much about that.
You think they're serious? Does it show that they're very serious, please?
For what I saw there last week, I don't think they're serious.
We are simply overflogging the issue. The killings in the northeast, the northwest, here and there, like, is it not more than this one we're talking about? You had a Lassa fever issue. You had what's that one again? And this one, what is it? Ebola. Every time it comes, everybody keep panicking as if we don't have God. This thing isn't benefit from here. It came from outside. It's not here. This is not here. Why are we panicking? Don't go to church. Don't go to the market. Don't talk to people. Don't shake. What is it? Let's have hope and maintain the hygienic aspect of it. Let's live.
What type of hygiene?
They say you should wash your hands.
With what?
With clean water. That's right. And soap. That's right. Is it with acid?
After 100% of the nation, the whole Africa is Nigeria is very largest country. Let Nigeria government, let's not allow disease is enter for this country that is an enter for this country that, but I never hear this disease for my life. So let the federal government is to raise up that find the solution.
If you are going to be the next person that is going to die,
No.
About that coronavirus, make our government to try to fit people as a medicine where person if you get to take before this thing happen. That one come out where you don't go. The thing don't enter us. Una Naija. So what thing we will not go talk as far as where he pass those one where we talk. We not go talk anything about that one. About the curing, about the medicine, about the thing we people we go carrying the thing way before the thing can enter us. I don't want that. My friend gon' go. The one way don't go.
If you notice this thing that you are affected, you have to stay in where you are. You understand? This is making like this. That what is making to transfer this coronavirus from one place to another. You understand? It's making this. That once you notice that thing, you have to be stayed in one place. You understand? As government said, if you notice, you have to stay from one place. Stay one place. Don't move it.
okay, staying in one place, don't go to church, don't go to mosque, all these things, but somebody has just finally died now. Is the government very serious about dealing with this virus and containing it not to spread?
Yeah, government are trying their best of this, but government cannot really do their best alone. We have you two, I and you have to support government to do that thing. Understand? I and you, we have to support government on this. The government cannot fight it alone.
Let's talk about social distancing. Okay, now the schools are closed, the markets are still on. You can see the transportation, we are coming from the offices. So if you ask the children to be at home and the parents are there mixed with a lot of people going home, they've not done enough. I mean, there should be total shutdown of the system so that we now identify cases as they come, as they proper. They've tried so far, yes. I've not been to the facility. But I think information regarding the corona stuff has not been well disseminated, that's from my own understanding. Federal government, for all I care, I think I'd have to do a comparative analysis of other economies. Like in Russia, it's very fair because online, I read some sort. They've released endangered species, tigers and lions. That's the magnitude. In Italy, their military are enforcing it and they charge you if you violate the rules. In Germany, Merkel said, more than 3 people, you have to be arrested. So whichever way, there should be a total shot. Look at the movement of people. It does not really matter. If schools are down, the parents are going to work. There should be a way. The military are human, but there should be, there should be a mechanism that can control and curb people's movement. At this point, we're in a critical situation. It calls for drastic measures.
The global best practice is what the federal government has adopted. Social distancing is primary and is key to the spread and for person-to-person contacts. I think that's the best, and that's what the federal government of Nigeria has adopted. Like the Honorable Minister of Health says, there is no one solution fits it. Every country has its own style, its own peculiar challenges, and its own ways and formula for dealing with every situation, including the coronavirus issues.